Hello everybody, I'm Bill Batson.
I'm Eden Batson from Batson Enterprises.
We're here today for our Blank Talk. We've got over a dozen episodes now. Last week we were on the water.
Yes, we were.
That was kind of cool.
Yeah.
We were out shrimping and halibut fishing, and we're going to put together a video of that adventure. We did do a little bit of live.
We did do a little live last week, Blank Talk on the water.
Blank Talk on the water.
Catching some shrimp and...
Yeah, spot prawns.
Spot prawns.
Yeah, John, hey, how's it going? Hello everybody out there. We got a special show today. It's going to be really cool. We'll get to that. But Holly's out rafting the Deschutes River, so she's not here today.
Yeah, we have Jeff behind the camera today, so we got a little housekeeping to do.
Yeah. We got Jeff, we got James. James is helping with some questions. James Henning, product manager.
Yeah, he's pretty great.
So we pull in a little bit of everybody. We got Karry, and we got everybody working.
Yeah.
And like we said, we are in a working warehouse. So if you hear tape guns or saws and things like that,
or people yelling at each other.
Yeah, not a lot of yelling.
From across the warehouse.
Yeah, sometimes that happens. Sometimes that happens. So,
yeah.
How do you want to start this, Eden?
I mean, we have a couple housekeeping things.
Yes.
We got Memorial Day coming up. We will not be here for Memorial Day. We are taking the day off.
Yep, it's a paid holiday, as it should be. Everybody should be out there enjoying themselves and having a nice long weekend.
Yes.
Yep.
We're doing something else super fun for Memorial Day as well.
Yes, we have our
giveaway. We're doing a Memorial Day giveaway. We have a built Doc Ski rod.
Yep.
Part of a patriotic series that he did. Why don't you say a little bit about Doc Ski and this rod?
He just tuned in also.
All right, Doc Ski's here. Hello, Doc. We're just going to talk about the rods that he built. He built us 5 rods for the Fred Hall show, but it was canceled. So we're doing a giveaway, and we're going to do them on patriotic holidays, and it has in conjunction with a Red Shirt Friday. You probably have seen the ads we've had out. We've had quite a few ads, or whatever you want to call them. This is the particular rod that we are giving away, and we'll be giving this away on Tuesday. You want to get up close, Jeff, and take a look. This is a Doc Ski rod. It has a beautiful weave on it. It has a nice tiger. He's got some flags. He's got his patriotic theme going on. This is a beautiful rod built with all Alps components. And this is an RCJB 90H, I believe. 7.5 foot with the Batson Battle-On grips with your Alps reel seat. And yeah. This is going to be awesome. Somebody's going to score.
That's a killer.
It's actually a 90XH. It is a solid 50-pound stick.
Beautiful.
Yeah, good for, and it was a special run that we did for Fred Hall 2 years ago. It has the blue glass tip, and then it has the clear glass graphite back end. So that we're giving away, and you can go to
buildtofish.com. So we're doing it in conjunction with a Red Shirt Friday.
Yes.
Our red shirts, RED, stands for Remember Everyone Deployed.
Yep.
So on Fridays we're going to be wearing our red shirts after Memorial Day, and you can go on to Build to Fish and buy one right now. And when you buy one, it enters you to win the rod.
Yes.
So if you buy multiple, you get multiple entries, which is super fun. I got pictures of our shirt.
We got pictures of the shirt. I know they'll be here by next week.
We got the front right here. Team Rain Shadow wears red on Fridays. And then the back, Remember Everyone Deployed until they all come home. So the proceeds from this shirt will be going to Project Healing Waters.
The Long Beach chapter, where Doc Ski helps out there, and he's been helping that program for a long time. If you know Doc Ski, very patriotic, as we all are. We all know that freedom's not free, and we like to give back. So we're going to take some of the proceeds from that and give it to 50% of the proceeds will go to Project Healing Waters, Long Beach chapter.
Yeah. So you get a chance to win a super cool rod, and you get to support the vets, and you get to wear the red shirt.
Yes. It's a win-win-win.
Yeah.
A win-win-win all around for everybody.
Yeah, so head on over to buildtofish.com after you're done watching our live and order yours and enter to win.
Yes.
Yeah, share this with your friends. If you have some friends who might be interested in watching the live video, we got some super fun stuff going on today. We actually are going to have Cousin Karry join us today. We're talking about center pin.
Yep, center pin blanks and center pin fishing. It's a very niche market. My cousin, I will introduce him in a minute, but he'll come in and talk to us about it and show us some of the gear. Yeah. We got some stuff to give away today.
Yeah, we do have some stuff to give away.
We're going to give away another banner.
Yes, we will. Stay tuned. We're going to do live giveaways. So if you're commenting and interacting, you might have a chance to win one of our giveaways.
And if you tell your friends to come on, they'll have a chance to win too.
Yeah, share the video out to your friends. Make sure it gets out there. Give them a chance to win.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be a great show. It's going to be a great show. Yeah. So I guess we're going to go ahead. I'm going to introduce Kerry.
Yeah.
Come on in, cuz. Everybody, this is Karry Batson. Yeah. My cousin. Yeah. We've been working together for close to 24 years now. Batson wouldn't be Batson without Kerry. We started in the garage days back in 2000 up at Dad's house. Yep. We've had a lot of good fishing adventures. We've worked our butts off to get to where we are today.
Oh yeah.
You know. Oh, so like I said, Batson wouldn't be anything without Kerry Batson. He's an integral part of what we do here from the beginning. He's here every day. He does a lot of work for us. So I brought Kerry in because he has a lot of knowledge, and more than me, in regards to the center pin. So we're going to let Kerry explain a little bit about what center pinning is and the different techniques and the different applications and the blanks and the reels and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to give it up to you, cuz.
Yeah, right on. Yeah, not a lot of people know about center pin fishing. It's more of a Michigan, Ohio, New York style of fishing. Popular in Canada, BC especially. Mostly for steelhead fishing. Otherwise, guys are using them for some trout fishing, some saltwater fishing is new. I know that the main deal about center pin is that it's somewhat difficult to cast, so people tend to shy away from it. But I brought some reels. I think most of all, I just wanted to explain what center pin is, not just the rod, but center pin. It's the reel. So center pin, pretty basic design, similar to a fly reel, slightly different. You'll see that there's a pin right in the center, thus called center pin. High-end ball bearings on each end makes this reel spin free and flawlessly, as long as it's a quality reel designed. And you can see it won't stop. There is no drag on these reels, which highlights the difficulty in fighting large fish as well as castability. That's most the design on them. They do have a stopper that keeps it for transport, so when you're walking around, it doesn't freeze pull and make a big mess out of your line. And it happens. Yeah, the center pin, if you are not holding it with your hand while you're fishing, you'll want to put the clicker on there for you. It's not designed to fight fish, because you probably annoy everybody on the river while you do it for one. But several different reels. This one happens to be a kingpin, which is very popular, large. This is the 575, which is for the Pacific Northwest mostly, because we are allowed to use larger gear, heavier weights, 5/8, 3/4 sometimes. These reels will load up, and I'll explain that in a little bit, with the heavier weight easier, so you can get away with these larger reels, as well as they pick up line faster. You get the long drifts here, the big rivers, and this one's a little bit smaller. See, this one's only 4.85. This is a CPR Danny Colville custom reel. Same deal. It's got the center pin in the middle, high-end ball bearings. This is one of my personal reels, obviously, with my name on it. This is a great reel for, some smaller rivers, and they make them quite a bit smaller as well. This one is a Nova reel. Good price point reel, quality reel. Same deal, it's got the clicker for while it's sitting, and you don't want to backlash it, but you can see how well they spin. Your only breaks is your fingers. So that's the deal. Center pin. spins on the center. They don't stop spinning.
It's a nice custom one.
Yeah, this one here, Danny Colville just made for Adam J. This is one of his newer versions for the Pacific Northwest. F. Jord Sasquatch 595, thus the size of it. This is custom 8 of 10. Has Adam's logo on here, the Freestyle Fisherman, with all the custom design acrylics and pretty amazing.
Pretty amazing.
You can see these reels are still spinning. They haven't stopped spinning. That's the deal. So people who try their first time to cast these can really backlash this line quite a bit. And you can kind of see, the size difference. This is the Islander. This is a little bit smaller. This one's made in British Columbia. So I'll kind of get into the size. So,
and no drag at all.
No drag.
Nope.
Zero drag. Your drag is your hand. Your drag is right here. This is your deal. So when you're fighting fish, you got to let go of the handle when the rod's loaded up. Drag with your hand, and then reel when you can. Picks up line really quickly, which is the whole point of float fishing. I've got a rod rigged up with the float set up here. I'll kind of show you a little bit about it. So let me get back to it. So the smaller the reel, the quicker the startup. And what I mean startup is you have to get this reel moving before you cast it. There's several different casts. There's the Wallace cast, which you'll pull line down and throw forward at the same time. So that way the spool gets going, kind of like a bait caster. You put your thumb on it and you cast it and you let it off. This reel here, you got to get started. The smaller reel starts a lot quicker, so you can use a little bit lighter weight to get these reels going in fish. So this size is more popular for the smaller rivers, around the Great Lakes. Yeah. Little guys, I mean, you can jump
little
across
creeks,
them. Yeah, our rivers are giant. I mean, they're flowing at 10,000 cubic feet per second. And these rivers might be flowing at 50 or 60. So these smaller reels are good for that. We do a BC swing out here because we can use a larger gear, and it's more almost like a surf pendulum cast per se, not the same or even close, but you're loading up that line, the rod, so you tend to have to make a big looping swing, and thus the design of a center pin blank. That kind of why I wanted to start with the reels and how they work and how they load up, is the blank has to load up similar to a fly blank would. Right. You have the fly line and you have to have the rod load up so it throws. This is the same with here. If you have too stiff a rod, you won't load up this. You'll throw your cast right into the dirt, or you'll backlash it, or the accuracy is very difficult on the stiffer rod. So you have to have somewhat of a moderate flex action. We'll flex some blanks so you can see that a little bit. And walk the line if you can. It's nice to have somewhat of a stiffer rod so you can mend and make the big long mends for float fishing. It's throwing a loop upstream like a fly line you would do the same with the float. So
it's like a big fly rod.
It is exactly a fly rod, which is why I'll show this particular rod here. This blank here is a switch blank,
right?
And we call it a center pin conversion,
right?
Or switch conversion, spay conversion in the center pin world, because that's what we had. We didn't have center pin blank,
right? So we used to just modify our big spay rods per se, right?
Yep, same deal. They have that nice moderate flow.
Yep.
When you're fighting fish, the rod loads up so you can keep up with it. 1-to-1 gear ratio. So, it's not the 6-to-1, the 10-to-1. Right. So keeping up on the line.
Yep.
So the nice flex rod helps load that up as well, which is another reason you have a center pin blank.
Yep.
The bigger the reel, the quicker the pickup, which is why we use these giant reels out here. It's almost like cheating for center pin world, but who cares?
Picking up more line, you get that fish in quicker,
10, 15, 20-pound steelhead, you want to be on there.
You want to be able to release that fish, because if you're on it too long, like a big fly rod where you have to fight it for a long time, you end up exhausting that fish and trying to bring it back to life, and we want to let those big steelhead go.
Yeah, exactly. Right. These kind of reels, these guys will use, really small split shots. I mean, you can't even see them.
Yeah.
You remember when we fished
up on the line?
Yeah, when we fished the Cattaraugus and out there many years ago.
Yep.
We used a little tiny gear. We used the 4-weight fly rod.
Yes, I remember.
With spinning reels.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, but the guys use the same fly rods with a center pin because they load up nice and they're protecting that 4-pound line and so on. So You got to have a rod for everything. We have 4 different models of center pin blanks. We have the medium, light, and the medium. The medium light's great for the Michigan guys, the small river guys that are running the 4, 6, 8 pound. We have them in 13 or 11 foot, 11 and a half, I mean, 13 or 11 and a half. And
2-piece and 4-piece.
Yep. That 4-piece 13 is great because you can break it down into 2-piece when you're walking around. You can go into 4. And inevitably you're going to break these rods because they're so long. I mean, you're going to catch it in a tree or high stick or do something. Well, you only have to fix this section, which is nice about the 4-piece stuff. But we also have, you know, the mediums, which are quite a bit more power.
Yes. For your bigger fish.
Yeah. Well, for the bigger water out here.
Yeah, the bigger water.
We run the bigger weights. We run the 3/4, 5/8, ½ ounce weights to load it up. We'll run jigs. You know, we'll run the marabou jigs or the jig worms with the short leaders. So
with that lead.
Yeah, the 11-footers are nice for that because you don't have all that, you know, line to pick up. Like if you're, you know, selling crack, I call it, which is bead fishing.
Bead fish,
You know, you have that long leader and the extension where you need that little bit longer rod. 13's nice.
13 is nice.
Pacific Northwest, they took our boats away, so
you gotta be able to have that longer.
Yeah, the 11-footers were awesome.
Fishing out of a boat. Right,
with this setup. Why have this long 13-foot rod? So we have that blank in the medium. And if you're looking for more power, which we do, especially when we go up to BC and fish Smithers areas, you know, we're hooking 50, 60, 70 fish. Nice to have a little bit more power on it. Well, we might use a spay conversion, 1338, which is our immortal 4-piece spay rod. Makes an awesome big river steelhead pin rod. Right. So, and I've got conversions. Anybody ever needs them, shoot us an email.
Because I know you're cutting some and you're adding extensions and doing different things like that too with some of those blanks.
Yeah, you know, if you like, we have all the stuff here to do. It's really easy for me to do that, and I'm happy to share that information with guys. Trying to get you extensions could be a little bit of a chore, you know, obviously, because it's got to fit inside the diameter of the blanks and so on. But this one in particular, this is a Revelation switch blank, 8-weight. I extended a few inches, so now it's 10-foot 8 plus 4 inches, so 11 foot.
11 foot. So where are you putting your extensions? Obviously in the back end?
Yeah, extensions in the butt. You can put it in the handle so you can't see it when you glue it in here. Usually this seam's here. Or right here, whatever, but you can never see them. And this was designed before we had our
before we actually did. Yeah. And we went out to the professionals and asked the guys what kind of blanks should we be building.
Yeah, I mean we work with Phil Gray, you know, professional fishing guy, Jason Ray, Roger Ross,
these guys,
even Danny Colville. You know, we work with all the guys. You know, Dominic. There's so many different people that we've talked to throughout the years to help us with this stuff,
But before we had these, we were using these.
Yeah, we were able to cut and stuff and so on. So.
And this is the one that you use.
Yeah, this is you know, Salmon
BC.
River special.
Yeah.
You know, it's the small river stuff. You know, the boat fishing. Lyle Jennings has the same rod. You know, Jason Ray has the same rod.
Roger?
I don't think Roger has this one. He has the 11-foot, 4-piece 11-footer though. Loves it, especially for fishing jigs, jig worms. Yeah, big fish. These guys, they pull on them pretty hard. But so, anyways, this is kind of old school.
I like the build.
Yeah,
I like the build. I like the triangle C. You've taken a fly full well grip and made it as your foregrip.
Yep.
You know, so pretty cool conversions.
Yeah, typically you'll want your rear grip, you know, in about 9 to 10 inches. Some like them a little longer. The guys that are a little more skilled at pin fishing, they'll go with a little bit longer one. Doesn't get in the way when they cast. You can put it under your armpit when you fight. But remember, the further you put the reel up, you know, the less counterbalance it is on the end. So you get a 13-foot rod and you go too far up.
Then you got tip heavy.
Yeah, tip heavy. Yeah, so you try to keep it back a little bit. Yep. As opposed to the Pacific Northwest, we might have a 14-inch.
So you even have a weighted buck bet system here.
Yeah, counterbalance system. We sell these. They come in several different weight sizes. I try to go with the least amount of weight possible.
That's a 3.5 probably.
Yeah, this is a 3.5. Right. Not necessary, but if you're into counterbalance your rod, you want to hold it right here and it feels feather light.
Yep.
It's cool to have. Remember, you are adding weight to your arm all day.
But it's on the back end, so it's not too bad. right?
Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. So cool setup.
So this would be a build sheet for that?
Yeah, this looks like a similar setup. It's got the AF2 butt cap.
It's got a little bit of weight to it.
Yeah, a little bit of weight. Great butt cap, super strong. Been around forever.
Yeah.
I use them on almost every rod that I personally make. A nice thing about the triangle seats is it's got the flat surface area. So the reel can't wobble back and forth. Some of the rounder seats, you know, they can get a little bit loose from time to time, but you'll never have that problem with the triangle.
Yeah, with the flat.
And it's got the nice edge, so when you hold it, your hand fits just perfectly in there. That's important. It's important to have your fingers in here in the right spots. If it's comfortable,
Because that's your drag.
It's your drag.
That's your drag, right?
Yep. It's your drag. It's nice to be up on the foregrip here, where you got to hold it here. It's not back here. It's all up here. Foregrip length doesn't matter so much. I just like the bigger grip so I can carry the rod around, honestly. But you can do these little short grips.
Like this?
Yeah, like this one. That little 4-incher. It's just so your hand fits in there.
Yeah.
This is our rapid seat. Great pin reel seat.
Yep.
16 or 17. I prefer the 17. This is my personal one there.
Right.
But these, you can kind of get in here a little bit tight with this 16. But the 17 gives you a little bit
more bulk, so you don't
and
push
the
so
transition
far,
into the foregrip.
so your fingers don't fall so far back.
Yeah. You don't want to get it kinked in there and snap them off or break your rod or whatever. But
right.
We're running 17-pound. We like the P line out here, the CXX.
The CFX?
XX.
CXX.
Yeah, it's a nice line. There's lots of different lines. Bloodline, all these guys make great lines. This is the one that we prefer, the 17-pound for the Pacific Northwest.
Nice.
It's great.
Yep.
I think Eden had something to say there for us.
I did actually.
All right, sorry about that.
That's all right.
No,
worries.
you're okay. A lot of information coming out here.
Yeah,
I thought it was
overload.
Yeah.
time for a giveaway. Give them a break.
Okay, give him a break. Eden wants to give something away.
I do want to give something away.
What do you want to give away?
Well, I'm wearing it.
Oh, a hoodie. All right, turn around. Let's see the back. We got the nice Batson on the back. We've got the Maui hook with all of our Northwest fish in there. You got your salmon, your steelhead, your halibut, your sturgeon.
Northwest camo.
A Northwest camo shirt. Kerry has one on, but it's full. It's the full.
This is the full
sun
sublimated sun shirt,
Yeah.
and it's the same pattern in our Maui hook right here.
Yeah, it looks good.
And it looks pretty great. And I want to give one of these away.
Okay, who are you gonna give it to?
Daniel O'Kane.
Okay.
Daniel O'Kane. I know him. He runs a great program for the kids. Right? Is that the same Dan O'Kane? I'm gonna guess. Maybe not.
You do that every single time, and then there are
Because
comments like, no.
No,
that's
wrong
not
guy.
him.
I could be wrong, but
But
I
if he
know.
does
But I
do
know the
stuff for
name.
kids.
I do know the name.
Good. Well, Daniel O'Kane, send us a message on Facebook. Let me know what size you wear.
Yep.
And I'll send it to you.
Perfect. Thank you, Eden.
Sweet.
Just want
Yeah.
to pop in, give something away.
Yeah, I want one.
You don't get one.
My wife needs one. It's
Yeah.
on record that I told
All right. Yeah.
Erica needs
It's on
that
record. Actually,
sweatshirt.
it's on film now.
She wore it out. She wore her other one out. She needs one.
We'll get her
So,
one. We'll
all
get her
right.
one.
Right.
All right. So the reels, I mean, obviously are very important to
Yep.
the whole thing. It reminds me of a big fly rod, right?
Yep.
So we saw the builds. We have
Difference
build
in the
sheets.
fly rod. Fly rod has a drag.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Center pin, no drag.
No drag.
Mm.
No, that's all
Yep.
fingers. I see guys do it like this sometimes.
Yep.
Do they
palming
do it?
palming
They
it when they're
it
fighting the fish.
when
Or
they're fighting the fish, right?
Sure.
They'll palm it.
yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So
You can palm them. It depends on the fish
yeah. Yeah.
you're catching. I mean, like big sturgeon or something.
What's
you
the
might have
biggest
one
fish
palm.
you've ever seen caught on a center pin?
I know Dave, Nova Dave did the tarpon. I think that's probably one of the big ones.
Yeah, catch a tarpon on?
Yeah.
It's like fly rod. So.
Yeah, yep, exactly. I want to say he used the Eternity Fly Blink 10 weight or 12 weight spay conversion.
Okay.
I'm not sure if Dave's on there. He can comment
Yeah.
on it. But
Yeah.
that's the largest. I know Adam. He wants to put this reel to test.
On a tuna?
Eventually, I told him let's baby step Adam. You know, in the center pin, I'm going to went ahead and design him a redfish trout center pin
sure.
out of our telescoping crankbait blade.
Oh, nice.
Well, you figure the crankbait's a little bit softer action, like
Yeah.
I said, to need to load it up.
Yeah.
bends so you can keep reeling so you don't have slack, keep the rod loaded. Telescoping so he has that length still for mending.
Yeah.
You know, and it should be pretty deadly for redfish and trout. And it'll get him used to the fighting of the fish before he jumps into catching a tuna or whatever else is going to jump his live bait. Because you can imagine live bait fishing with that.
Woo!
Look at how free that
Run
flows.
into a jack or
that little thing,
like
that little bait swimming so perfectly free.
Yeah.
And then a tuna hits it at 70 miles an hour. Boom!
Knuckle buster.
Yeah, baby, you gotta get on that puppy and watch out, you know. So it's just a degree of how do I explain it?
It puts more challenge into it.
It's not a better way. Well, I want to be careful what I say to the center pin guys, but I
It's
personally, it's not a better way to fish.
Right.
I'm amazing with the baitcaster, you know that. I'm amazing with the spinner rod, you know that. Fly rods, all that stuff. Amazing with a lot of that different fishery, but this pushes into the envelope.
Yeah.
Because if you make one mistake, it could either hurt you, you could either break the rod. You're going to lose the fish. We don't care about the pain.
Right.
We don't want to lose the fish.
Yeah, I hear you. That's painful enough.
Lots of going around in your brain when they're fighting it, not just the casting, but the fight. Yeah. So I think baby steps with Adam with the redfish and the trout's going to be fun for him.
Yeah.
I hate even shaking this reel around.
Yeah, I know.
It's so nice. I don't want to scratch it.
But it actually, it's more challenging. It's actually adding a new challenge to it. That's what I see a lot of guys do, because a lot of guys like you and I, we've done a lot of different things. We've fished everywhere. We've done a lot of different things. But this is a whole new challenge. I mean, it's even more challenging than a fly rod, because a fly rod, you got brakes, right?
You got drag.
You got drag, right? This, no drag, a lot going on.
Yeah, and that's what makes it fun. I mean, I get excited, and it takes a lot to get me excited to catch and steal. You know, steal it I catch in a year or whatever. But you hook one on a center pin, it's fun, it's exciting, because you can't make a mistake.
Sure.
You see me fight them on there, and everybody watches because you're waiting for you to mess up. But
it's fun to see a guy on the river fishing one, because you know it's a very niche market, right? So if you're out there and there's one guy on the river with one of these rods out here, you're gonna notice it. Like when we go to New York, like on the Cattaraugus, we were hiked 10 miles in, and we'd run into a guy, and he had a center pin rod, you know, and it was actually a rain shadow that Dan and Colville built.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
That was a long time ago. Yeah. That was Hunter Fish Day. Yeah. You know, we were catching those fish coming out of the lakes that spawn into the river. Yeah, that was a good trip.
Yeah, that was fun. But we fish with guys, you know, like I mentioned before, Phil Gray, Roger Ross, Jason Ray, all these guys out here, and they're amazing fishermen. They make this look stupid easy. Yeah. I kind of make it look stupid easy, but not like those guys. Sure. I'll pull it out when I want to, but these guys, they really like it. Again, I don't know that it's a better way to fish. I think it's just more challenging.
Sure, yeah.
It's more challenging.
Right. It's more challenging. So, that's awesome. So let's pull on some blanks and explain the blanks to them. Sure. Yeah, like I said, the blank has to flex, you know, to load up the cast mostly here. What do we got here? Which one is this? Okay, so this is the Pacific Northwest rod, so it's a medium. It's going to load up best with, you know, 5/8 ounce, 3/8 if you can push it. Not necessary, but 5/8 it's going to cast this really nice. So it's going to load up killers. You can see this rod's got you know, mostly the tip's flexing. It does have some give in this back end. It's hard to show it, but it's right in here. So when you go to throw this rod, it's going to load up that, you know, that line, that reel, and get it. No, don't let go. And then, you know, it'll spin. And when you're fighting fish, you know, you can get this bend. You can keep up with this bend. If it was too fast a rod, you'd have to reel so fast because it's recovering too quickly. Right. You want it to stay somewhat slow so you can keep up on it. And then when it runs, the rod flexes, it has give so it doesn't snap you off, and you can get to the spool quick. Sure. Because you got to be. Because it's 1-to-1. 1-to-1. Right. You got to let go of the handle when it runs. Right. So, that's the nice thing about this rod. It's got best of both worlds, like I was saying. It's still somewhat fast. So that way when you want to mend your loop, which is throwing your line upstream to create less drag on your float, so your drift is presenting it the same direction as the current, speed of the current. If you're pulling it back, the fish might be a little weary. That's just how steelhead and trout are. Yeah. You want that float straight up and down. You don't want it laying one side or the other. You don't want it to be dragging. That's why you mend. And the great thing about center pins is it's so free spool that there's no resistance, zero resistance on that float. Correct. So you're given the perfect presentation. Bait caster, you're probably going to have to thumb it a little bit depending on what quality. My equipment's amazing, so it's just free. But yeah, we can always go free spool and keep that line up out of the water. That's why we're using the longer rods also. But you'll see mostly with the bait caster guys, the spin guys, their floats are moving quite a bit.
center pin, you can free drift. There's
Yeah.
no movement. That's what
Your
makes
float's
it.
going like this down the river.
Yeah, that's what makes
The
it.
presentation of that, whatever you got.
A better way to fish is not necessarily better, in my opinion, because of the other complications of fighting and
Sure.
reeling at the same time. So this blank, great for that. Maybe if you're in a bigger river, this is going to be a little bit short. Great for the boat.
Sure.
Great for jigs.
This is the 11-footer.
Yep. Great
Yeah.
for floating jigs. Great for floating worms. You could, fish beads and stuff
Sure.
too, with it, especially in the smaller rivers like the Salmon River.
Yeah.
Stuff like that,
Sure.
where you don't need the long rod for mending.
Right.
Okay, so
All right.
that's kind of the whole deal about 11-footers, 11.5s, But you start getting into the longer stuff, the bigger rivers. You're able to make the bigger mends with these longer rods, which is the whole point of a 13-footer. You want to be able to pick up that line. I mean, we're talking the Hero Drift. I mean, what?
Yeah.
75 yards?
Oh yeah. Long.
Of line?
Long drifts. Yeah.
I mean, Bill Batson maybe 200 when he's trying to lowhole you, But hey,
I'm fishing around the bend sometimes, and you guys say, "Hey, Batson, we're not there yet. Come back this way."
Yeah, we're gonna get down there, but I know you're trying to get first fish on me, but hey, we're gonna get there. So these 13-footers give you the longer drifts, the longer drag-free drifts, as well as line pickups, so you can set the hook with your long Hero drifts, your big casts. I mean, reach, they're always that much further.
Yeah.
On a lot of our rivers. So we like the 13-footers. Anything longer can be a little bit too much.
I can't imagine fishing anything longer than 13.
Yeah,
It's a long
I mean,
rod. It's a long rod.
I agree. You can see this rod has full flex to it. Nice butt to it.
You want to go ahead and give it a good flex?
Yeah, you can. I'm setting the hook right now with Bill holding it. You can kind of see the power in this zone. You can pull on those bigger fish. It can be broken on a high stick.
Sure.
That's why I got it low here. You're reeling into that fish.
Yeah.
And you're watching that drag and you're keeping on when you're going to turn them and stuff like that. You got this butt in to do that with these larger fish.
Any rod you really don't want past 10 o'clock anyways.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to be high with these rods because you're mending, float
but
fishing.
that's why you're mending. Well, during mending, not during fighting.
Yeah, when you get fish to the bank,
yeah, that's
you got to walk back. Drag your fish back. You come back here and drag those fish. You're going to break it in the boat. That's why these 13s are difficult in the boat.
Yeah, because you can't move back far.
You can't.
Far. Boat's only so long, right?
Yep. You're bringing that fish up.
Yeah.
Better be ready to let go or pow, you know.
Most definitely.
And we can make a blank that's not going to break.
Sure.
You're not going to want to fish it.
Exactly. Yeah, we can make solid glass. We can do all kind of stuff with it. But it's going to be heavy. It's not going to be fun to fish with.
Yeah, so the RX-8 Immortal Series is, in my opinion, is probably the finest steel blank on the market today. Blended materials.
Yep.
Been around forever.
We got the high modulus in the tip, and the lower modulus in the tip and the higher in the back. So it keeps the weight down. We can get that wall thickness.
Yep.
And we still got a lot of good sensitivity.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Now it's little sister. It's full flex. I don't know that we have a sample here of it, but it's full flex, great for the 4 and 10-pound test line.
Yeah.
Originally used to be the 1562.
Yep.
And now we call it the 13-0ML and 13-0M.
Yeah.
We just wanted to make them more stand out.
Sure.
Center pin. We gave the center pin guys a line item in our
Yeah,
catalog.
we actually gave them a category because we actually changed. I'm gonna let those go.
Yep.
We actually changed some of the models. We just had them in the Salmon Steelhead series, right, for a long time. But we gave them their own little section, right?
Yeah.
So we got 4 blanks, but there's other blanks you can use. I mean, Kerry even mentioned, taking a telescopic bass rod and putting a center pin on it, per se, and catching saltwater.
As long as the rod loads up in the mid,
right,
for casting.
So this particular technique is more for the moderate action blanks.
Yep, absolutely.
Yes.
In my opinion.
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
The better guys can cast anything, just like you can cast a fly line with your hand.
Sure.
The professionals.
Yeah.
Cool thing about 4-piece, like I said, it breaks down to 2-piece. So when you walk around, you got 2-piece. Still can bring it into, 4-piece. I mean, you can make it into 4-piece, so it's not so much rod. And if you snap the tip,
It's easier to replace one section.
That's it.
Yeah, one section.
Instead of, you know, this
And guys are
mess.
going to break them. You know, it happens. You know, they stick them in the car door, or they smack them on the trees, and, you know, all kind of different things.
Yeah, and you know, Mike did an amazing job too with the ferrule flexes. You don't see the flat surfaces like we used to see back, you know, in the 80s and stuff. And so, you know, we don't have the brake spots. You don't have the big fat ferrules
you get the thin
with the
ferrule
brake
design.
spots.
Yeah. Remember when we used to have to reinforce the ferrules here, and they were all big, and there'd be that flat spot, you know, and you'd bend a rod and there'd be a flat spot like this. Nowadays, it's just everything's nice.
Yeah, so don't be afraid of the 4-piece stuff. They flex amazing nowadays.
Yep.
Come a long ways. So, what do we got, Eden?
Eden's coming back in, folks. What do you got?
Since we're finally showing the blanks, I figured we'd give one away.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
Oh, wow. So we're going to give
Money,
away
money.
one of our center pin blanks.
Yes, we are.
All right.
If you are not a custom rod builder and you win a blank, you can call us. We will connect you with someone in your area
That might want to
who
build
might
this
want
blank
to build
for you.
for you.
You know, so
Yeah.
we're going to give away one of the center pin blanks. Who are we going to give it away to, Eden? Kirk Chilson.
Da, 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 da.
Hopefully this interests you and you would like to try doing some center pin.
He actually commented about fishing on the Columbia River.
Oh.
Nice long boy.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
One of those. Yeah.
So because it says center pin blank, the blank doesn't care.
No.
You can build whatever. You can make it a fly rod.
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean,
You can
he's
make
the
it a
king
doodle
of
socking
making
rod
a
for
rod
crappie.
already.
Yeah.
You can make it
I
a
don't
bait
think-
caster, a
I don't-
spiral wrap, a spinning rod. It doesn't care.
No, the blank doesn't matter what it's used for,
Right.
right? So I know guys like Gary Land are using them for crappie fishing
Yep.
to get that length. You know, they're doing that little jig, jig,
Yep,
jig.
the doodle sock.
Noodle,
Yep.
noodle socking.
Doodle
Socking into the brush to get out those crappies.
Yeah.
Him and his wife do it all the time. He
Sure.
called me the other day. We sell a lot of those for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
You know, BD and
Yeah,
a lot of the
BD
old
out there.
timers, they're
yeah,
using those too. But yep, again, the blank
Yeah.
doesn't care.
No.
So
Yeah.
no.
So if you have any
Congratulations on the
questions about converting it, you are actually going to do a Q&A at the end of this episode. So if you have any weird, crazy custom rod building questions, we're going to try to stump him because he usually deals with all those.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Kerry, you know, obviously we all have a lot of different talents. Kerry has been building rods for
I built my first rod at 14, and
14.
I'm 47.
47.
So I had my first wrap machine at 16.
Yeah. So yeah,
Yada yada. Haven't stopped every night.
Aging
Aging rods.
yourself.
Yeah.
he builds every night. He's
Yeah.
building something all the
I
time.
can't help
weird
myself.
stuff,
We're all
too.
addicted to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weird stuff.
I
Cutting
get-
down blanks,
Yeah.
converting stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the fun part of our job is we get to experiment and do different
Right.
things. And you know, we're getting ready to go for a trip. I know you're going for a trip.
Yep.
Here's going to Louisiana, and he decided to build 3 rods for that. You know,
Yeah.
you just come out here and
Sure.
design something, and boom,
Yeah.
we all new research and development. You know,
I had a lot of fun with
Yeah.
Adam's rod there. It's center pin fishing. I can't wait to do his tarpon, his tuna, his AJ. I know.
all the
you know.
stuff that he wants to do.
Yeah, on that. It'd
Yeah.
be fun to design the rod for that. So I've had a lot of fun with that.
Yeah.
So it's always something new for me, but
Yeah, it's never something different. I mean, there's always something different going on here with all the parts and pieces we have. So.
yeah. And the cool thing about me personally is that people call and ask questions all day long to me.
Yep.
So I might not know the answer, but I'll figure it out, or I'll
Uh-huh.
find out, or I'll ask somebody that does, and that's just knowledge that goes into me personally.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Oh, yeah.
we've heard so many questions. I don't even know what them.
10 calls a day. I'm like, oh yeah, I'll just send you to Carrie.
Yeah, yeah.
At least 10 calls a day.
Yeah, but
I mean,
you go on YouTube, you go on all kinds of different things about casting. There's, like I said, there's the Wallace cast. There's the BC swing. There's several different ways to cast. So you guys want to learn a little bit more about it.
Yeah.
yeah,
If you want to, you can go online. YouTube's all kinds of great stuff there.
definitely.
But Kirk, if you saw this, send me a message on
There you
Facebook
go.
at the Batson Enterprises Facebook page. Tell me which blank you want, and I will send it to you.
That's excellent. Thank
Yeah.
you. Jeff, you have a question?
Yeah, I mean, you've done a lot on handles and reels and blanks. What about guide? What guides do you guys prefer?
Yeah, let's go over these build
guide
sheets.
trains.
Yeah, for sure. The center pin is similar to a spinning. The difference is that the rotation doesn't go this way. It goes this way, like a baitcaster does. So necessarily the ring diameter isn't important as much as the height to the reel angle. So if you use a number 6 or whatever here to this, it'd be too sharp. You might get some wear on the line, which is stress. So typically we start with a number 20 We like the Y guide. You know, the IVs. We
got
we
that new
IVs. They're amazing
Yeah.
guides. I don't have them on these rods because they're new, but
Yes.
I did set up Adam J's rod with the IVs. A lot of the guys have been asking for a taller
Yes.
frame with the smaller ring.
Yep.
That's this guide here. Great for the transition
We
guide.
used to call them the match guides back in the day, right? It was kind of like a match guide. Really high frame, the IV guides. You can see them on page 187 of the Batson catalog. We like the higher guides.
The cool thing about this frame, the match guide's a great guide, but
yeah.
these are a little stiffer.
Yeah.
They don't flex as much, which is cool.
Yeah.
I like that. I don't
Yeah.
want a guide that flexes.
No.
They're designed, they have a little unique bend to them. It looks a little different.
We wanted to be different.
You know, when I look at the catalog of the picture, I'm like, I don't know. When it's on the rod, it looks awesome.
Yeah.
It really does. It transitions into the LF guides, which is great. So
Yep.
the great thing about their LFs is, you know, they're a little bit less tip wrap. So depending on if you have ice, you might want to run these all the way to the tip. The IVs keeps the line away from the blank a little bit. So which is less water.
And some guys aren't even using tip tops. They're just taking that IV guide and using and wrapping it at the end of the rod.
Yeah, because they want to run the larger ring guides all the way up for ice.
Yeah.
Typically, the larger ring tip tops are big, and
Right.
they don't have tube diameters of 4s and an 8 ring, you know,
Exactly,
and so on. So,
Roger Ross tuned in.
all right, hey Roger.
Hey, Roger.
Yeah, Roger's the man.
he is.
Center pin guy right here. He's got lots of my custom rods. I've built them. Yeah, he's very skilled at center pin.
You went to Canada with him and Phil
Yep.
at one time.
Yep, a couple times.
Couple
Yep,
times,
yep, Yep, up
That's
there.
an awesome trip.
Yeah, I can't beat Smithers out there. Not going to advertise it.
Ah,
I don't want everybody to go. But, yeah, it's
Nobody
pretty-
can go to Canada anyways.
Steelhead heaven, yeah, I know. We're out of Canada for the last couple of years, but
Yeah.
and he fished. Roger fished with us.
Yeah.
With Adam J.
Oh,
with,
yeah.
the trip
We
for
did,
salmon.
yep, yeah. That was
Yeah.
awesome video.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was fun.
Batson for Life video.
Yeah, right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So, guides. These are the Y guides. This is the meat and potatoes. I guess they've been around forever.
And then we have the other one on there.
Yep. These are the LFs. These are nice. A little bit flexible. Great for the small river stuff. The 4-pound line
Yeah,
stuff.
the lighter
6-pound. So it's
Yeah.
got a little more give. Great ultralight guide,
Yeah,
in
it
my
is.
opinion, but maybe not so much great for steelhead fishing. Just durability, maybe. I don't know. It just flexes, but great ultralight spinning
Yeah.
guide. But they work good for this as well.
I like the really small ones of these because it has that double brace. It's almost like it was reinforced.
I love them. I use the smaller ones on my center pins.
Yeah.
I use them on my bait casters.
Yeah.
I use them on all of mine. They're quite a bit stiffer, the 7s and 6s, than the higher frame sizes here in the 20s and 25s.
I see that you went with the VS3 on this one.
Old school right there.
Yeah,
that's an old school, yeah.
Yeah, the
We had
VS3.
Yep, the Forecast. That's one of our house brands.
Yep.
When we were trying to design some guides.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a great guide. We do sell it still. It's a very stiff,
Yeah, it is.
rigid, good for salmon center pin rods.
Yeah.
Good for all kinds of saltwater fishing.
Heavier applications, medium
Yep.
heavy to heavy applications. The VS3 guide has been amazing for us.
Yeah, that one happens to be same height as your Y stuff.
Yeah.
The IVs are taller, which is cooler, so you can get away with even a smaller ring. 20s.
Yeah.
The 16's still getting a little small.
It is kind of
That's-
small. I
It's
like the
okay for
20.
these reels, but you start getting into the 6-inch or the 5 3/4-inch reels, you're
Right.
gonna need still the 20.
Yeah. This is the 20.
Yeah, so that's guides.
Yeah. And want to go over this build real quick here. We have also this build. This is for the 13-footer. And it has the carbon on it. Jeff, you want to bring it in?
Coming on.
Show off some of this carbon and the rapid seat. And you can see the guide train that we have for this. So this is for our print for the 13-footer. It has the carbon. It has the AF2. It has the Alps trim ring. It has a 17 rapid like Kerry was talking about earlier. So that reel, there's not so much so you don't drop too far back into it when you have your fingers up here. And then we have a reverse split grip here. And then we have our guide train. And these are the titanium Y guides?
Mhm.
Yeah, the titanium Y guides.
Up into the PF, titanium PF.
Shout out for our carbon partner.
What?
Shout out for our carbon guy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Moore. We get our carbon from Moore. He's doing a great job for us. And yeah, so that's the build for the 13-footer. So like I said, we have most of the builds for almost every blank that we sell. If we don't, or if you want something special, you can email us. And I know Kerry has a very large selection of different things, you know, from your spiral wraps to, you know, doing a special cut or anything like that. So that's pretty cool.
The cool thing about these carbon grips,
yes,
you can cut them.
Yeah.
If you're not happy with the length, you can cut them.
Yeah. How do you cut them?
I use a chop saw. You know, I like to wrap tape around it.
Yeah.
Run the chop saw through it. Nice sharp blade.
Yes.
And that's
obviously.
just, I mean, even the ones we use for cutting pipe with, I think it cuts this better than this sandpaper one that's always chunked up and is always dull. I'd rather use that. But so it cuts super easy. The thing is, you got to worry a little bit about the OD tapers on some of these because when you cut it, it's going to be crooked. So sometimes, you know, if you're going to cut it from the back end, so this OD stays the same till about here. If you want to get this down a little bit shorter, that's a little bit of long rear grip with this AF2, and the thread's down. It's a little bit long for center pin, in my opinion. Puts a reel too far forwards. Too hard to reel if you put it in your belly. It's good for armpitting. Because
most of them are they're shorter, right?
Yeah. So this is more that long. So if you need to cut it, a guy could cut it right here. Yeah. Use a trim ring with the same OD. I've got prints that show all that stuff. Right. This one here I cut back. This is probably the same grip that I cut back a little bit. You can see the length difference. Oh yeah. So I cut it here. This CH20.
Basically, you just cut off this bulbous back here.
Just a little bit until I kept my OD. So I just take my micrometer to my OD of my trim ring, and then find out where it starts getting too small. Draw a line, cut it, and then the ODs work great. The TRCA H20
fits on that.
It's great on our tendons as well as it matches a nice OD with the AF2s. Great transition. I've been really happy with this one. This is the TRB trim ring. Great for the butt caps too. You can see the TRB here. Just depends what kind of look you like.
I like this look.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I like this look.
I do.
Like he says, he's taking that TRCAH number 20, using it as a trim ring coming off of his AF2, and makes a beautiful transition.
Yeah, in and out of rod holders is nice too. Doesn't want to bang this. This will kind of bang a little bit sometimes, so I'll even use this on my salmon mooching. Sure.
That's another question we just had actually. What do you like for downrigger grips?
Yeah, I like the straight carbon myself.
You know, I let Roger test this stuff. I told him what I wanted to put on his rods. Sure. And you know, I'm always weary about carbon because it can be scratched technically.
This stuff is durable though.
I was surprised, and he can probably pipe in if he's on here or not, say how amazing it is, but in and out of rod holders all the time. Yeah. With this AF2 butt cap, dragging on the deck to set your downrigger clips with this. Yeah. It's got a solid core inside, so it's reamed. There's no hollow spots. Right. It's a solid material. Yeah. Oh yeah. Super strong material, so it can't be crushed. Right. Which you always worry about. In the rod holder, you got a lot of torque on it. Yeah. You can smash that shim. Yep. No problem.
Not ours.
What is the density of that foam that we're putting in there, James? Do you know?
14 pounds.
14 pounds. So it's a 14-pound density foam core. Yeah. Right. And a lot of people are saying, "Hey, how come it has a little bit of texture?" We like it with texture. Some people put finish coat over it. I don't care for that, putting finish coat over this. This is a finished product. When you buy it from Batson, it's a finished product.
The cool thing without a coating on it is it can't scratch. Yeah. So it doesn't show the scratch lines. I mean, you can't. I say you can't. Yeah, but Billy can break anything. But exactly. Rod holders, I'm real happy with this as far as the new and improved. Yeah. Again, you can use EVA, you can use X-Block shrink tube. We have the WHGR-Ys.
That's the one I use a lot of, is the WHGR-Ys, you know.
Straight tube, the WHGR-Ys. They do have
to arbor it. You have to arbor it up that way. This one, you just ream to fit.
Yep, and when it flexes, everything's solid, so you don't have this hinge spot if you don't get your arbor up too close on those tubings. Yep. Cork it's just going to get destroyed in rod holders.
You don't want. For downriggers, I like the WHGR-Ys or this. That's my opinion.
Yeah. Slim slick butts, a little too heavy. Works great. Charter guys will do the slim slick butts for downrigger stuff. A lot of options. You know, we could go all day about downrigger handles and stuff, but hopefully we helped you out with that question.
Yeah, most definitely. Hopefully that answered your question. WHGR-Ys or the carbon. you know, either one is good. Do we have any more questions out there? Anybody have any questions?
Craziest rod building request.
You know, I was thinking somebody was going to ask that.
What is your craziest rod building?
I think Adam is. That's why I'm so intrigued about doing this. Is building a center pin to catch pelagics.
Yeah.
We're talking about accurate. We're talking about pins. We're talking about pins. We're talking about solid Shimano's, Trinidads.
Yeah.
Center pin.
Right. I know.
Same fish, 1-to-1 gear ratio, no drag.
Exactly.
That rod is going to have to be unique. It's going to have give.
And it's cool that you're taking a bass rod, a telescopic bass rod, to start with.
That's going to be for the redfish and trout fish.
I understand that. But you can do a lot of different things. We have so many things. Because blank, like you said earlier, blank does not know what it's going to be used for. Right? You know, as long as you set your drag right, you don't make any mistakes. I mean, you can use almost anything for anything.
Yeah. Other stuff, guys are looking for blue water fly rods.
Yeah.
So a lot of that fishery for sailfish and marlin, it's a bait and switch. They throw out their plugs, bring the fish to the back of the boat. You make the cast, and you hook up. Right. You're not going to want a 9-foot fly rod for that. You're just not. It's going to bend. It's going to snap. Yeah. So we came out with years ago. It's a saltwater, jig rod, bucktail, bass rod, everything. The SW967 has been around since. Yeah. I was a kid, so I think
it's been around for a long time.
Gary and Don, I think probably designed that in the 80s, would be my guess.
Back at LCI days.
Yeah, Gary Lewis, Don Moak, and those guys, and it's a rod that's been around forever.
Dick Posey.
The cool thing is we came out with it in 2-piece, SW967F.
Yes.
So you got a fly rod, you got 2-piece, so you
8 foot.
And you can go travel now with it. You can't travel with an 8-footer to, Timbuktu, and it'll cost you a fortune in shipping to get it there. And if they break it in shipping, you're game over. So 2-piece, you can still travel with it, which is cool. We make it a big game fly rod. If anybody wants to see that blueprint, we have that.
Yeah,
I call it the 12, 14 plus weight is what I call it. And that's a pretty unique build. Just an oddball out of the millions of rods that I've designed. Daily it's 20 to 30 rods a day in some cases, other than today when we're talking.
Exactly. We have in the Batson portfolio, if I was going to make an educated guess, there's probably 1,200 to 1,300 different blanks that we've designed over the last 20 plus years. We stock 500 of them, but in our portfolio, some have come and gone. Some are private label, where we only build for certain people, and that's a huge part of our business, is doing private label blanks. But yeah, so many options, so many different things to talk about. But Kerry, you did a great job.
Yeah.
We have one more giveaway.
We have one more giveaway, Eden says.
Woohoo!
So we're going to give away the banner now. This has been a popular thing. People have contacted us about these banners, and we're going to continue to go ahead and sign them. Kerry, if you could get in there and sign that thing for me while we're talking about it.
Oh, yeah. There we go.
We have our whole team sign the banner, and hopefully it gets hung up someplace cool, whether it be in your shop or somebody else's shop or something where somebody can see it. It'd be awesome. We're going to have our whole team sign the banner like we have been. We're going to probably do this. I think I had 10 that I wanted to give away. This is number 3 or number 4. I'm not sure where we're at with it. But Eden, who's going to win the banner?
You get to read the name.
Aaron Gleising.
We're bad at names on this show.
Gleising.
Aaron Gleising? Tell us how to pronounce your name in the comments.
That's all good.
Congratulations.
You can see, that's why I wrote it down.
Banner.
That's a cool banner.
Yeah. I can put one of these in my rod room.
Yeah. Hang one up in your rod room.
Yeah. We love getting pictures of those in other people's rod rooms. So if you win it,
definitely take a picture of it after you hang it
up.
It's
in your bedroom, old school. My rod room is in my bedroom, so you roll over, wrap around,
go back to bed.
You kiss it before you go to bed at night.
Or your kitchen table. That was apartment days growing up as kids. Making them in the kitchen table.
I remember when Eden was a baby, mine was in the garage. I mean,
I remember that.
The car was parked here, and I had a little spot in between the car and the end of the garage. Was a table probably half this size where I used to wrap rods and supplement our income, And
then we had a pool table, and the rod, the wrap machine went on top of the pool table.
Yeah, we had a plyboard that went on top of the pool table, and we used to wrap there, so a lot of different things.
Yeah, it'd be cool to see some pictures of everybody's little...
Yeah. So one of the coolest pictures I have is a picture of my dad's old picture wall.
Yeah.
We have it in the shop
Yeah.
where we hang a lot of our
Rods,
pictures.
yeah.
Phantom rods
Yeah.
back in the 70s and the early 80s.
Yeah.
I share that a lot. So
Yeah. Awesome.
yeah, it's been awesome. It's been a great show. Again, thank you very much, cuz.
Yeah,
He's a
you're
wealth
welcome.
of knowledge.
Thank you, Kerry.
Everybody knows who Kerry Batson is throughout the industry. He's definitely one of the top guys in our industry for what we do, you know, as far as designing rods and blanks and supporting the industry. Eden, did you want to say anything else? You want to?
Make sure that you check on Built to Fish for our red shirt giveaway if you want a chance to win that custom built dock ski rod. It is going to be up until Memorial Day. So from now until Memorial Day, if you order one of our red shirts, we will be announcing the winner live on June 1st, on Tuesday,
yeah,
on our day back. So make sure you go to build2fish.com. It's build the number 2fish.com and order one of those. You're on our Facebook page right now. It would mean a lot to us if you liked and checked out the videos that we post, because we try to give you as much information as possible.
Yep.
We also do that on YouTube, which is also Batson Enterprises.
Yep.
Make sure you subscribe. And then we have Instagram, which is at Team Rain Shadow. It's all over us all the time.
I don't have Team Rain Shadow. I got Batson though.
You got Batson though.
Yeah.
Yeah, we really appreciate you guys tuning in.
Yes.
I hope you had fun and you learned some stuff.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody. This wouldn't be possible without the support the industry and the craft show, the Batson family. We give back as much as we can, and probably more than necessary, but we love to give back. We love to share information. This is what it's about. We're here to share information. Please ask questions, make comments. We'll get to as many of them as we can. But for now, this is Blank Talk with Billy, Eden, my cousin. Aloha.
Aloha.
Fish on.
Fish on.
Thank you.